While Coraline on the PS2 follows the rough plot of the film and pads it out with uninspired, boring minigames, the DS version takes a bolder move. It seems like the Japanese developers tasked with making this game felt more confident in accepting that gameplay would inherently be limited, and instead focused on creating an experience that more closely resembles the movie, building on the atmosphere and sense of wonder and exploring places you would if you were in Coraline's shoes. Gameplay is minimal, but I think we all know that most kids and adults who wanted to play this game already expected that. They more so want to explore this world and experience the full story as it is in the movie, which the DS game does. Upon starting the game, you're instantly given freedom to go in any direction you want. There's no objective marker telling you what to do. You're told by your parents to explore the house, but once you start getting bored, if you keep pestering the mother like Coraline does in the movie, she'll mention the well in the forest, giving you a hint on where to go. Everything Coraline interacts with in the movie is here: the fridge, the paintings, turning the electricity off, and the bugs in the shower, which is the only minigame in the opening segment. It lasts just 30 seconds and is far more bearable than finding all the blue objects in the house. Where the PS2 version felt obligated to change so many things simply as an excuse to add more minigames and rushed gameplay mechanics, the DS version very closely follows the feel of the movie, to the point where if you're familiar with every plot point, you'll have a far easier time getting through the game. The focus is purely on exploration and following the events of the movie. There's no forced combat or drawn out nightmare levels that bring the PS to a halt. Despite the limitations of the hardware, I would argue it inadvertently gives the game a creepier vibe at times. There's a lot of small details that, while probably weren't needed, add a nice touch. The heads up display changing to a darker color scheme with a spooky bat when you go to the other world, as well as the music getting faster and changing to a higher pitch to emphasize the fact you're stepping into a mysterious place. There's this really cool moment during the first visit to the other world where after dinner, if you try leaving the house instead of going to bed, the other mother catches up to you and accidentally slips up by saying the outside's not done yet. It really adds this creepy layer to the story to know that during Coraline's initial visit, the beldam had only recreated the inside of the house, meaning everything outside was just pure white nothingness. One thing I thought the PS2 game was missing that seemed like a no-brainer was the inclusion of the green stone Coraline uses to find the souls, and well, it turns out the Japanese devs also thought that. It is still very limited since you can only use it in certain areas and you can't move while having it out, but at least it makes an appearance. It's only around the last chunk of the game that there are mini games you can feel, but with that being said, you pretty much have to lose on purpose if you want to see what happens, which is nothing by the way since you just restart again. The closest thing to a challenge this game offers is trying to time a throw to hit a big mouse, or frantically tapping the screen to stop the hand that only has one pattern of movement. I would say overall this game is definitely spookier than the console versions. Maybe it's the combination of these low poly models with constant eerie music in the background, or maybe it's the fact that this game, no joke, gave me a jump scare. If you're a fan of the movie and want to try the games, the DS version is the one I would recommend before the console releases. Sure, they have nicer graphics when exploring the world, and it has voice acting from the movie cast, but these games are padded with so much BS that's irrelevant to the original story and offers nothing worthwhile. The DS game is a true retelling of the story, regardless of whether you consider the lack of standard gameplay an issue. Plus, you already know what the characters sound like. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Bye guys.